Hello, Internet. I'm here downtown at the Houston Women's March On. We're going to be seeing what's going on. I'm the War Kettle, or Tim Pool, or any of your other very wonderful men on the street. You can see what's going on here. The march has already started. It's not very far. It goes down to City Hall, and we're hopefully going to get to talk to some of these people and see what the Women's March means to them, all that good kind of stuff. And yeah, so if you have any questions, I'm going to do my best to ask whatever questions y'all want asked. And yeah. Hello, Amy. Hello, Chris. How are y'all doing? So, I don't know how many were expected here. It's quite cold outside, at least for Houston, so that probably affected it. It's also been raining a lot lately. So it's interesting. One of the criticisms of the Women's March was that it never had any real singular focus. So we're going to try and see what people think the Women's March is out here for. And howdy. Subby 6 Squad. Yes, I have been very busy. Got a new job. So, been working on that, and yeah, we're almost to hit City Hall, so it really is, it's like less than a mile. There's a bridge down that way. Maybe I'll just stop and let everything go by. I don't really know how to start trying to approach people. I need one of those real fancy reporter microphones like Jay's got, then people would talk to me. So we're not hearing very many chants. We're not hearing much all. There was a hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go earlier. But other than that, we have some people chanting. Fox News is fake news. It all's fake. I'm also interested in the Wimexin controversy. If that's caught on if anyone knows about that. Also about what people think about the controversy with the national leadership. I called for the Houston Women's March on Twitter to condemn the national leadership, and they just ignored me. But they do have a post on Facebook explaining that they are no longer affiliated with them. They changed their name to the March On instead of the Houston Women's March. So, at least on Facebook, they have condemned those things.
You want to know which building the race
We have a 1 in 6 women been raped and 99% go free. There are more CEOs named John than women CEOs. That's That's an interesting thing. I'm also interested to know if people think, ask them if they think LaPortia is a criminal. That's an interesting one. Or what's the woman who cut off her husband's penis? It's kind of like when you're running and there's people that are like behind you and you start running whenever you see a person and then you stop whenever they leave, like we're just kind of walking. Sorry for overreacting. That's pretty good. Women are the wall and Trump will pay. I don't know what that means. There was also a recent criticism that I heard that people said that feminism is masculinizing women because women are acting more like men, taking stronger, like more active role or whatever. I don't know what to say. We might even get some reaction on Brett Kavanaugh and what they think about that. So it will be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many people are here. Houston is the 3rd or 4th largest city right now, so we got a lot of people. Harris County itself is turning pretty Democratic, and last time I was here, most of the messages were from the Democrats. You don't see really any Republicans here. Now that was kind of by design. They didn't really seem to want to interact with the Republican women or the pro-life movement. So there are people that are excluded from the Women's March, but families belong together, stop the wall. My favorite season is Fall of the Patriarchy. I also looked at volunteering, but they basically just got a whole bunch of seats set up for less handy able people, and the only job they had, okay, we got a drone and it looks like it's flying over people, so that's illegal, and looks like a spark actually. Well, we're not going to yell at people. Oh, we got this cute little puppet going on. That's kind of cool. Impeach Trump. We can ask them why we think Trump needs to be impeached. Trump-Pence regime must go. Refusefascism.org. Y'all can look that up. We've got a bunch of stuff that's going on here. So they say their milk. I'm super confused about that one. Okay, we're coming to the end, so I'm going to go ahead and start walking back up into the crowd. There's something on my selfie stick. I don't know what it is. It's pretty fucking gross. It's like sticky, and I don't have anything sticky usually, so I have no clue what that could be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm too scared. Oh my gosh, I looked at the time and I thought there was 1,000 people watching. I was like, what the fuck? No one's watching. I'm trying to be entertaining, but I'm way too shy to start talking and asking people things yet. I feel like it'll be easier once they're not in a direction of motion. Oh, the loudest people are the vegans. Oh my gosh. I think there's at least a few hundred. The vegans are making quite a showing.
Animals are not food, just like us. Animals are not entertainment, just like us. Their bodies, not ours. Not ours. Not ours.
Now it's turning into a rock concert.
Not ours. Not ours. Not ours.
Oh, we got socialists over here. So I don't know, maybe 2000 something? I don't know. Yeah.
Welcome to the 2019 March for Justice. If you are in the streets, HPD asks you to come and get in the park. If you're on the street, please get in the park. And Gracie, finish us out with the rest of that song, and then we're going to get started. Woo-hoo!
Oh my gosh. If it's DJ Gracie Chavez, I know the DJ. Okay, we're gonna have to go see if that's her.
Call and response. Ready? I don't know, but I've been told. What's up, Houston? It is cold. We're so grateful everybody's here today. And we're going to do another couple of call and responses throughout the day. And just to kind of plot spoiler, for this one, the answers are justice and now. So what do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! That's right, that's right. What we're going to hear from today are women and girls and allies who are committed to delivering justice. And today, the third anniversary of the Women's March. Remember the first Women's March in 2017? Were you at one anywhere in the country? We were too. And millions of women gathered all over the world to say the ugliness and bigotry and hatred that had been on display in 26 does not define who we are as women, as families, as Texans, as Americans. And for the past 2 years, you and the people up here, but you have been out registering voters and getting people to the polls and finding good, honest candidates to run. Woo! So we're here today celebrating the progress we're making and also talking about what we still have to do. I want to start out with the next generation. And so I want to ask Girls Inc. and I want to ask Sanjanetta and her daughter to come forward. And I want to start us off with Girls Inc. because we're doing this. Yes, we're doing this for ourselves in this moment, but I want you to yell if you're also doing it for the next generation.
Justice means to us that all girls are inspired and have the opportunities they need to be strong, smart, the right to be themselves and resist gender stereotypes. Express themselves with originality and enthusiasm. Take risks, strive freely, and take pride in success. Appreciate and accept their bodies. Have confidence in themselves and to be safe in the world. Prepare for interesting work in economic independence. If you want to learn more about Girls Inc. and how all girls be strong, smart, and bold, see us for more information. Or visit our website at girlsinc-houston.org.
So we're going to do this actually one more time because people are still filling in at the back. And what I want to ask you to do is start each of these beautiful, wonderful, smart, intelligent, capable, worthy young women off with the start of their phrase, which is girls have the right to. Practice it with me. Girls have the right to. Okay, so you're going to start off and they're going to respond. You guys ready?
Be themselves and resist gender stereotypes. Express themselves with originality and enthusiasm. Take risks, strive freely, and take pride in success. Appreciate and accept their bodies. Have confidence in themselves and to be safe in the world. Prepare for interesting work in economic independence.
Girls have the right to. Girls have the right to. Woo! And so, because we don't just march for women and girls, we march for men and boys and every human. I want you to say, girls and boys have the right to. Be free and grow up free of abuse. When we march for justice, we march for girls and boys too. Woo! So now I want to introduce you to Sanjanetta. Sanjanetta, can you come up? And just bring your daughter up here. That's live. I'll turn mine off. And introduce yourself and your daughter.
Hi, everybody. Hey. I'm kidding. Hey, I'm Sanjanetta Barnes, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you today, all of my sisters and brothers who decided to come and join us. We appreciate you. Without this, girls, we all know as women, as strong women, that we couldn't do this without our supporters. So I'm so proud that we have men who are also standing amongst us today, and we appreciate you today out there. So today is a day about sisterhood, and I couldn't be more proud as a mom of 3 strong Black women. And I am proud of my baby, my 16-year-old baby, who's standing here today, who I was able to convince to give the speech today. But she is going to tell you all, Malia Alahi is going to let you know what justice means to her.
Can you hear me? Yes, thank you. What is justice in the midst of an unjust government? Where does one draw the line between ignorance and unethical scare tactics? How can we, as a nation, as a community, as a friend, eradicate the injustice that has long since been intertwined into American history? As we stand here today, we must agree to stand united rather than apart. We must agree that no woman should ever have it in her heart to belittle or devalue her sisters. As we stand here today as American women, we must not forget the strife of our colored sisters, of our immigrant sisters, of our LGBT sisters, our disabled sisters, and now more than ever, our Native sisters. As American women, must not forget our international sisters in Asia, Africa, Europe, Brazil, and other parts of the world. We must not let the fears and doubts of the past tint our future. Our girls today are our women tomorrow. And it is our duty to encourage them to stand strong against the cruelties of an unjust society, to be avid in their ambitions, and to seek justice, not only for themselves, but for the rest of their sisters.
Will you come back up with your mom? Can we get one more cheer up here?
Thank you.
For the record, I did not write that.
This is what we're marching for, folks. This is the promise of the next generation. Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I can zoom. One second.
If you've really listened to the news or paid attention to any of the conversation the last 2 years, you know that we've been roiled by people who have, who think they win by dividing us. We disagree. We think we win by uniting together.
I'm gonna try and get more.
And so you may have seen questions about racism, bigotry, anti-Semitism in the Women's March. Here's what I want you to know. This global movement is not defined by one or two people, whether they're in DC or wherever the heck they are. They're not defined by their actions. We are an independent organization. We separated long ago, and we've made multiple statements that we will not stand for the historic evil of anti-Semitism. We will not stand for the historical evil of bigotry, racism, discrimination against any group. We win by being united and loving our neighbors. That's it, right there. I want you to welcome, if you would, a woman who's come to speak about being Jewish and what it means to be Jewish in the face of anti-Semitism. Please welcome her.
Good morning, Houston! So I want to start by thanking the Houston Women's March On organization for speaking out about what has been a stunning failure and an outright refusal by national march leadership to denounce anti-Semitism and repudiate bigotry and hate against the LGBTQIA+ community. When someone stands with those that spout hatred, they themselves are contributing to the pandemic. And we all know and are too aware that hate is on the rise in our country. We must stand together. We must continue to speak out unabashedly for others who may not look like us or pray like us or come from the same place as us. Regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, nationality, gender, or sexual orientation. As a proud member of the Jewish community, I was raised in a tradition that recognizes and understands the dangers of silence. The failure to repudiate anti-Semitism today is the same silence that we witnessed before World War II. It's the same silence that led to the suffering and oppression of African Americans, the stigmatization of same-sex couples, the dehumanization of Hispanic and Latinx communities, and sexism worldwide. For Jewish people, the lesson of thousands of years of murderous persecution is that there can be no justice if we do not speak out. There can be no justice if we do not speak out for other people. We must speak out, because the freedom to worship in peace and safety in a synagogue is the same freedom needed to worship in every church, every parish, cathedral, chapel, mosque, temple, or any house of worship. It's the same essential freedom that we rely on to speak and think freely, to associate and to assemble, to question and to criticize, to work and live and love and be as we are and as we choose to be. It's that freedom that makes equality possible. As a lawyer and as a civil rights advocate, I personally went in to interview children in one of the detention centers here in Houston. That experience shattered my heart into 1,000 pieces, each piece representing one of those children. In trying to free them, I faced red tape that has been built as a wall to keep them fenced in. After months and months of roadblocks, we succeeded for a few, but it's not enough. What I witnessed is injustice, inhumanity, and a complete disregard for the law and for our Constitution. It's all for the sole purpose of targeting a vulnerable group and inciting xenophobia for political and financial gains.
Oh, yes!
We have witnessed in history what the descent into fascism looks like. We have seen what happens when we do not give a voice to the voiceless and when we do not stand for each other. An attack on anyone's freedom is an attack on all of our freedom. That's why it's so important that we march today, and we not only continue to march and press on, but to take meaningful action to stand up for what we know is right and what we believe in. Thank you, Houston.
Hey guys, okay, if you identify as Jewish or Muslim, if you have neighbors and friends that are Jewish or Muslim, and you're on the stage, I want to ask you to come forward. If you identify as Jewish or Muslim, if you have friends who are Jewish or Muslim, come forward a little bit, folks. We want to teach you a song, and now Maury Lucas, if you've got posters, come up to the front, and Jacqueline Batiste, if you're here, please come up to the front. We want to teach you a song, and we're gonna. It's very easy. It's got 3 words, and those 3 words, I want you to say them with me. The first one is peace. Peace. The second one is salam. Salam. The third one is shalom. Shalom. And you know what they all 3 mean? Peace. Gracie, DJ Gracie, woo! Spit in the tunes.
I do know the DJ.
La paz, creemos en la paz, creemos en la paz, creemos de la paz, salam, shalom. We will work for peace, salam, shalom. We will work for peace. Hello. Peace, salam, shalom. We're gonna have some folks, woo! We're gonna have some folks speaking about that in our march today, and we wanted you to be ready to sing it when they come up and speak, okay? And we've got some elected officials with us today, and we want to introduce them to you. Some of them have been a part of the civil rights movement, which I don't know if we talk about that very much, but if you're part of the Women's March, or any of the groups, Indivisible, Moms Demand Action, any of the groups that have come up, woo! Then you're part of a civil rights movement that stretches back for a long time. And so we've got elected officials with us today who have been just leading the charge for equal rights for all for a long time. And we've got some folks, some women that you elected in 2018. And I want to start out by introducing one of our allies, and that is there was one elected official who flew home from Washington in 2017 to march with us. Please, a warm welcome to Congressman Al Green.
Oh, aren't you kind? Thank you. I want to give a very warm expression of appreciation for Robin because she has been the cornerstone, the backbone. Let's hear it for Robin Paoli and all of the persons who helped make this event possible. I have to be brief because there are so many speakers, but I must say this. We're not here today. I am not as a Democrat. I'm here because I value democracy. I'm not here as a Republican. I'm here because I want to protect the Republic. I'm here because I believe in justice for everyone. I'm here because this is our day to take a stand against the injustice that we see in our country. That's why I'm here today. And I was so overwhelmed by the young ladies who were making comments about what girls can do. And I want you to know that whatever boys can do, girls can do. Yes. Girls can fly fighter planes. Girls can person M1 tanks. Girls can captain submarines. Girls can serve in the Senate. Girls can serve on the Supreme Court. And girls can be President of the United States of America. Girls can. Yes. I'm sorry I'm going to have to go. I really want to stay longer, but I want to close with this. I went down to the border. I had an opportunity to see some of the inhumanity that exists at the border. I was taken to a room where babies were stacked on top of each other. Little children with their mothers. If one wanted to traverse the room, you would have to step over children to do so. This is not what a great country allows to occur. These were people who came meaning us no harm. Mothers and children. They are fleeing harm's way. We are the richest country in the world. We are not broke. We can make sure that every person is honored the way Lady Liberty would have us honor them. Give me your poor, she says. Your masses yearning to breathe free. My dear brothers and sisters, injustice on the other side of the border with children is a threat to justice on this side of the border where our children. We have a duty and obligation and a responsibility to make sure that those children, those mothers, not one more child should die at the border trying to get here to get freedom. We have to stand up for people who don't look like us, who don't come from where we come from, who haven't had the advantages that we have had. This is our time to move forward, and I assure you that the progress we have made will continue. We ought not forget this, that since we marched the first time, we now have a female who is the county judge in Harris County, Lita Hidalgo. We ought not forget that since we marched the first time, we've got a new member of Congress who is going to serve with distinction, the Honorable Sylvia Garcia. We ought not forget that she is joined by another member who will serve equally as honorable, the Honorable Lizzie Fletcher. And remember this, when there was some question as to whether the polls had been closed or opened too soon, there was some question about the polling places. That case was heard by a female judge. Her name is Frederica Phillips. She ruled that the polls have to be open. Women can make a difference. It's time to stand with and for women. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you for standing up for women. So I'm going to introduce my friend Constance, who's got, you know, we're not just marchers, we're voters too, aren't we? Yeah. Constance, are you nearby? Can you come up?
Hi! Woo! I'm Constance Jones. I am a proud state officer of Texas with the Black Caucus. And not only are we marchers, but we are voters. And we voted in more women than ever this time around. We have the wonderful Lizzie Fletcher. And we also have Judge Sandra Peak. If we could get Lizzie Fletcher. Let's hear it for Lizzie Fletcher!
Oh my gosh, I am amazed looking out at this crowd. It is cold. It doesn't matter. We're all here because I know this is how we got here in 2019. And I just flew back from Washington. Thank you all for helping me get there. What is amazing to me is looking out at this crowd and realizing that there are crowds like this, obviously in Houston and across the country, that helped me and 100 women serve in the House of Representatives for the first time in our history. It's amazing to be among this class. Hopefully you all have seen some of the incredible coverage that has come out about the women who, just like me and just like you, stood up and said, our voices need to be heard and I'm going to do something about it. It's amazing to be a part of a freshman class of women from diverse backgrounds from all across this country. Women who are military veterans, women who are experienced in business, women who run nonprofits, women who care about the communities that they come from and have gone to Congress to speak for them. And what I can see already is these women working together in the 116th Congress are going to change the way that things are done in Washington. It's an incredible privilege to serve in Washington. And I want to assure you that the things that we've been talking about as women for the last 2 years and the last 200 years are at the top of the agenda. We are talking about guaranteeing women's access to health care. We are talking about guaranteeing women's constitutional rights to safe, non-judgmental access to reproductive care. We are talking about equal pay for equal work. We are talking about keeping our families and our children and our communities safe from gun violence. And we are talking about how we can work together to help all Americans achieve the American dream. But the way that we got there came from moments like this. It came from all of you who are standing here today, who are marching to the polls in November, and will do it again in every election. It is critical that everyone know that their vote matters and that their voices matter, and I want you to know that we're hearing them. So I want to encourage you all to take this energy and channel it into the issues that you care about, into making sure that people hear you and that people are elected to office who will listen. We have started that. We have some incredible people, and I'm proud to say that I work in a Congress that is committed to making sure that the things that we care about are the things that we're talking about in Washington. I'm so privileged and honored to be there, and I am so grateful to you for helping me get there. Thank you so much. Thank you to the organizers of the Women's March. March on, and let's all keep marching on. Thank you so much.
Hey, Houston. Okay, one more time. I don't know, but I've been told. Houston women, they are bold. Okay, couple of announcements, and then Constance is going to introduce somebody else to you that you elected because you vote.
Right.
We are a 100% volunteer organization, and
We're not going to be able to get people to talk to us while the speeches are still going on. At least I don't think so. Honestly, I'm pretty bored, but I don't know. We're already been in here for an hour, and yeah, so I don't know if it's worth waiting. I don't want to try and interrupt people while they're listening to the speeches. And I did want the speeches to get captured and log them, and I'll give my commentary later on once I finish that. I like your jacket.
Hey, you know that you want the fanny pack, the t-shirts, the bottle opener. The bottle opener is so cool.
We got to do the merch. I think it's good that they said something about the national controversy. I liked what the one Democratic dude said. I think it's interesting how some of the topics are more veiled. Like they said, economic freedom, I guess, is that,
All right, guys, next up, we have the beautiful Jeannie Kalani that was just elected.
Yeah, so once again, it's all Democrats talking. They have a pro-life message.
Everyone, I'm Gina Kalani, and I represent Texas House District 132.
I don't know. There's only 4 people watching, so
Cypress,
I don't know.
Houston.
It is interesting because Houston, basically only Houston is Democratic. Everything in the suburbs and stuff, they have names like Deep Red something Cypress, where basically they said they won't be able to swap it for a long time.
Why don't you run? So I said, okay. I looked at how the representative for 132 had been voting on things that matter to us, our bodies, our choices, our schools, our homes, and I said it's time for a lady to take a seat.
So I don't know. I think I am going to just.
I am the first woman to hold a seat for Texas House District 132.
Cut it.
And now in Texas House,
I'm tired.
we have surpassed critical mass for the amount of women that hold seats in the Texas House of Representatives.
Fuck it. No one's here. What? Thoughts on what I've seen? I don't know. I feel like it's I think that I didn't see all of it last year. I like caught only the end, but I thought it was good that they didn't have such a gendered thing at all the things. I didn't think I had any. I didn't think I have anything wrong with any of the messages. Like I said, I think it's kind of interesting how they said economic freedom as, you know, like women are being financially dominated by men. I guess that's because, you know, like men pay for things. I was just listening to a podcast where, you know, women were talking about like the joke that Dave Chappelle tells where he was like, I had like $20,000 in a bag. I was walking down the street and suddenly I knew what all the women feel like because it's like I had something that everybody wants and I was like worried about it. So she said that, you know, she doesn't want that to change. She doesn't want the power of the pussy to go away. So I don't know. We'll see. If they stop their speeches
now we're
soon,
ready for one of the judges that won this.
I'll go and talk to people, or maybe I can try and talk to some people here, like closer to the back. I don't know.
Let's hear it for one of our black girls.
So, anyways, yeah, I think because like I said earlier, I've heard, you know, people saying that basically, as women enter the workforce and they, you know, take on, they're not. They are financially independent and things, and they are, you know, standing up for equal pay. I thought that was interesting that they said that. That's been debunked a whole bunch of times. It'd be fun to, know exactly what that means. Because once again, as has been said, if there's a law for that, and if you can prove that, it would be great.
So you can imagine how bittersweet it is.
But yeah, I also. It might be nitpicky,
quest,
but it's just a bunch of woos, you know? Like, I don't know how much actual change gets done. There's a lot of cameras, people, it's all just a bunch of almost virtue signaling to me because people taking pictures of themselves. I'm out here taking pictures of myself.
Houston Association of Women Attorneys,
and then it's, you know, like you said, I'm not here as a Democrat, but then they're all Democrats. So it would be interesting if there was more diversity of
and I want you all to know that this breed has been 24 years in the making. As a result of this
I do want to talk to Gracie. I think that would be cool.
10 new family court judges. And I want you to know.
And that's the thing. The other thing is
our
that
job is going to be
I support this because I think that's important. Like, if women want more women elected, they should vote for them. And I have no problem with people getting together and saying, "Hey, we should get out the vote." That's the whole point. So I think it's good. Like I said, I might not agree with some small points, but for the most part, it's a fine thing. Can you try and talk to some of the speakers? See, another woo. Talk to some of the speakers. The dancers.
And I know that their dance director introduced a very special dance that they created.
Oh, there's a dance that we're going to do. Maybe I'll stay for that.
Hi, I'm Tony Valle, the artistic director of 6 Degrees Dance Company.
Did she say the autistic director or the artistic director?
I did a show
You be the
this year
judge.
called Never Again about the Texas legislation and the different types of resistance here in Texas. And last year, to honor the Women's March, we actually came here in the cold, just like today, and created a video. We call this the Courthouse Two-Step. These are, because we were marching in Courthouse Two-Stepping all the way to the polls this year, so we're really excited. So I want to introduce my company, 6 Degrees, with the Courthouse Two-Step. Thank you.
She come knocking, gonna shake
I'm just gonna tell you what I see because it's like way too far away to try and see it. But there's some people that are spinning around in kind of an interpretive dance, and I don't know. Let me try and get it. It's really hard to see. Especially, I can't zoom. Y'all know how to zoom on? I don't think you can zoom. You can't see anything. So it said it goes till 12 and it's 11:05. So I can't imagine they would be talking the whole time. We'll see. I'm gonna fall in.
Thank you. Folks, if you have any accessibility or mobility needs, ADA access is up front. So anybody who has any special ability or mobility needs, please come up. There's some seats available. Okay, I want to introduce you. So we have women today. We're talking about criminal justice, the justice for different people groups, and what you can do to help. And I want to start off by telling you two things. We're going to ask you to, if you want more information about the people and groups here, I want you to use your phone to text the words. This is all one word, Justice Texas. All one word, Justice Texas.
Yeah, I don't think I can get up where all the organizers are. There are a bunch of cops, and I think it's like controlled access for the verified, whatever, photographers. See, they're gonna talk for another hour. It's such a bitch to get across. Sorry, your man on the street has crippling social anxiety and doesn't like talking to people. I don't know what all these golf carts are. Like, there's a bunch of them. We're going around to see if the socialist table is still there. I love you four viewers. I really wish my son would have come out. That would have been fun. I thought he was a hoot last time. I don't know. Like I said, I feel awkward all the time. We're at an hour. It's cool to know that this phone can stream like nonstop for over an hour, and I'm only at half battery, so that's pretty good actually. So yeah, I can think of lots of questions. I don't know. Like I said, I just don't want to impose on anybody. I'm such a ally. I don't know. And yeah, so people are starting to leave. I don't know. We can ask some people leaving. I guess they're all in a group. I don't know. I'm just making excuses.
I don't think I'm.
I also don't want to have to explain to people that I'm live streaming. And I feel like I should do that. I don't know.
Thank you, Robin. My name is Jenny Stone for David. I'm the first
Strategy for Revolution out to millions of people.
AFL-CIO. We represent over 52,000 union members in the 13-county Texas Gulf Coast region and over 80 different affiliated international unions. Today is an important day for women, but we also want to make sure to bring on justice to the thing that we heard this morning. I work at United Airlines. I've been a flight attendant for 29 years, Association of Flight Attendants, CWA Local 42. And
I'm just gonna end it. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Bye, everybody.
Ella es de Nicaragua.